Okay, here we go. We're on episode 2 of Sunny at Night.
Yes, sir.
Sipping on a little bit of Shard here. You go, Art.
Thank you, my bro.
You already got your drink. Welcome to Sunny at Night, a business talking to hustlers. That's what you're going to get with this show. We connect with entrepreneurs, go-getters, people out there that are making it happen, creating their own lane, and wanted to be their own boss, and we're hearing their stories. So today is episode 2. We're very grateful to have 2 business owners of a company called Splatterhaus, located in Burbank, California. They're a hybrid of an art gallery and barbershop, among many other services, to say the least, that we'll get into. They're also the lead designers for Dave's Hot Chicken. Before we even begin, just to prelude this whole interview, Art, you're the reason we're on this set tonight. You designed this entire backdrop for us, the Sunny at Night backdrop. So I just wanted to personally say thank you again, bro, for making our display, our background just so badass. You're very gifted. Thank you, dude.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Cheers, man. Cheers to that. And yeah, here we go. So first, tell me about your business, Splatterhaus.
Cool. So Splatterhaus is actually something that I started about 5 years ago. It was in about 6 years ago. It was in about 2015. It originally started out of my garage when I basically just started cutting hair after work, and it initially was just myself, in the garage, just doing my thing, creating clientele little by little. But it quickly grew into a full-scale business, and eventually I ended up moving into a live-work loft in NoHo, where I basically launched Splatterhaus, out of an actual location, no longer a garage. And at that point, my brother joined me, Jivo. He's my younger brother, and also my cousin Andy joined, and it was 3 of us. So we started cutting together, and then we moved into a bigger loft and whatnot. Essentially got a final location recently in 2020, where we moved into our Burbank location on Magnolia Park. And unfortunately, since we moved in there since February, we've been shut down, which has given us a lot of time to be able to really work out the kinks with the overall location's aesthetics and just the functionality of it, the purpose it's going to serve for our members or our clients or our artists. So it's been unfortunate that we haven't really been able to open up our doors just yet fully. But it's just giving us all that much more time to pretty much just, make the space as
sick as possible.
And, it's giving us all the time we need to refine the place and just make it fully maximized in its capacity to serve its purpose.
So how did you come up with the name Splatterhaus?
So when I started in my garage, one of the main problems I had to deal with was covering up all the graffiti that I had done prior to moving in there and starting to cut hair. It used to be literally like a storage room, so I had to paint it with black and white paint. And when I did, it didn't really cover up all the graffiti and all the holes that I had made in the walls. So I ended up just splattering paint on the black with white and then on the white with black, just to kind of cover it up and create diversions, and it worked. Sure enough, we were sitting in my garage that day, and one of my little cousins was like, we were thinking about it, where I was like, splatter something, and then I said splatter something else, and then one of my cousins said something else, and we're sitting in a house. So it should have came to me right away, but my cousin just goes, Splatterhaus. I'm like, yes, that's it. So after that, man, it pretty much just got dubbed as Splatterhaus. And the reason I spelled it Haus is because at that time when I was first getting into barbering, I was really inspired by these German barbers that were on social media and stuff, and I loved their style and just their overall aesthetic, and I loved the way Haus spelled, H-A-U-S. It just looked way cooler because I could make the U into a V, and yeah, man, that's how it came to life.
So your business has been able to survive during the pandemic? Even though your doors are closed, is business still happening?
We've definitely been affected initially when this entire COVID started to happen, and obviously it's a real situation, so it does need to be taken seriously. We started taking our precautions. We had to unfortunately shut down initially completely, and we couldn't really operate, at which point we started to do house calls. Obviously we have bills to pay. I just got the space, and it was my first time getting an actual storefront business location, so it was kind of the worst situation that could have possibly happened in terms of like, you know, financially speaking. You know, you sign a lease and then a month later the entire landscape of the, you know, economy changes and you're no longer playing on the same field that you signed up for.
Right.
But you know, it is what it is, and we toughed it through, and thank God, you know, he's given us the strength and the you know, health to be able to like carry on.
Is D invested in Splatterhaus as well?
Well, my bro Dehmq over here is basically the guy that I met during the time when I was in like my first loft. One of my clients, one of my good friends and clients, Manuel, actually just told me randomly about Dehmq, and he's like, dude, like I have this homie, he's an artist, blah blah blah, and like he's sick as hell, and I think you guys would make like a great like set of friends. Like you have to meet, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you know, like I'm always down to meet people. I love collaborating with, especially people in our community that, you know, I don't know. It's like, that's amazing. So sure enough, he tagged me up with Dehmq, and I hit up Dehmq, and I was like, bro, like, you know, Manuel told me about you, and I've seen, you know, some of your work on your Instagram, and I think it would be really dope to meet you, and like, you know, I think we could, you know, like fucking do some stuff and make it happen, you know? Like,
Just at the start of my career too. It's just the start, like the first coming.
So I hit up Dehmq, and sure enough, this guy pulls up, and the first time he pulls up, he comes through with like this custom painting that he created just for me for like a barbershop. He like looked into what I do. He like looked into what I do and like what we're about, and he created this dope, like super beautiful. I have it at my house. It's a super beautiful like painting with skulls and like two gold like blades. Super dope. Anyway, but this guy comes in with an open heart, of course. You know, he introduces himself. And right away, I'm like, dude, this guy, his energy and like, you know, the love he's got for what he does, the love he's got for the people around him, his pure-heartedness. He's just like an all-around amazing person.
Thank you, bro.
So I wanted him to be here because, to answer your question, he's not like invested in Splatterhaus, like partner, all this stuff, but it doesn't really mean anything because in that sense, it's like, we don't really treat each other in any other way. Like my brother, him, my other boy Simon, my cousin Andy, one of which doesn't even work with us anymore, but like nothing changes because it's more of like a family vibe. It's like we're all here to kill it together, and
That's what's
through
up.
our path together to like kill it, we're gonna help each other kill it as much as we can. And we're just all on that same frequency. We're all on that same understanding. And there is no mine, yours, this, that. My network is your network. Whatever resources I have are your resources. I'm gonna make them available to you, but I'm not gonna come there and do the work for you.
And that's what the show is really about, and that's what we're trying to like empower to the audience. Is what I really admire about you is that it's not just cutting hair. You open up so many streams of revenue for yourself. It's the Dave's Hot Chicken that you guys designed for. It's the other businesses you designed for. It's the people's hair you cut. You have all these like lines of money coming in your way, which really facilitate all the success towards Splatterhaus and towards why you're able to keep a 4,000 square foot office in Burbank just chilling there when no one's allowed inside. Like it's because your hustle, your determination. And so like if you were interested in becoming your own boss and an entrepreneur, you have to put in the work. Like you have to put in the work.
You're the janitor, you're
It's
the
not
CEO,
easy.
you're
It's
everything,
not
man.
easy.
You're-
Not easy, and mostly sometimes, actually, often it's just not fun. Sometimes that's what that's the like the people think it's gonna be fun, like enjoying the process and everything. But sometimes it's just not fun. You just have to sit there and just fight through it, and gruel through it, put in the time. That's it.
And you, D, as an entrepreneur, as an artist as well, were you working somewhere before and then you decided to become your own boss, or what's like sort of that story?
I mean, I've been doing art all my life, and originally born in Iran, and my parents saw that I wanted to do art, and we flew over here for actual opportunity that I have here, and I was working for a backdrop company, like backgrounds for like plays and shows and concerts and whatnot. And as soon as I actually started dabbling to see what kind of paintings I would want to be actually showing to the world, like what's my message to the world as far as through my art, what do I have to say? And once I started dabbling in that, just the right people started falling into my life, you know?
Right.
So it's just that as soon as I started putting more hours, like during my lunch break or after work, onto like paintings that maybe I wanted to do that make me happy instead of just fulfilling other people's like visions. For example, for a concert, they wanted like Slayer was one of our clients, you know? It was just doing like crazy demonic
metal band.
Exactly, yeah. So it's like once I started doing my own thing, and then just the right people started coming into my life, you know, because I had my friend, I was friends with Manuel, which was getting his haircuts by art, and then once I like started doing my own art and showing my friends, and Manuel saw that I was doing my own art. He's like, oh, like my barber's like a really cool artist too. He has a really dope space. Maybe you guys can work together, or whatever. Just meet him, you know. Just go meet the guy. Maybe you'll make a new friend, you know.
Yeah.
And I did, and here we are now, you know. My set of skills was specifically art and the technical aspect. I try to be, I'm on the pursuit of becoming the best artist that I believe is to me, you know what I mean? And
what artists out there, what great artists do you aspire to be, or any, like, you know, Van Gogh is, you know, somebody who's like somebody epic out there, Picasso, that you aspire to be or that you feel you measure up with?
To measure up with, none, but Dali. It's just, Dali's one of my biggest inspirations, because he just took his own vision and just slammed it on that canvas, and he was who he was all the time. Dali is Dali. It's like Salvador Dali is him, and like there was no pretending or putting on a different show. He was just who he was all the time, and he portrayed that on his canvases too. As one thing I love about artists is what they like, truly who they are is reflected on the canvas themselves, and even how they create is unique to who they are.
Right. I love that. Yeah. So do you guys, so now do you employ D to go out to Dave's Hot Chicken, and you guys do artistry together there, or what is the collaboration together that you guys work on, what projects that you work on together?
So for the most part, Dehmq and I just work as a team. I don't really employ him. He doesn't employ me. We're both just our own entities, and we, you know, bring our set of skills together, and we collaborate on. Yes, Dave's Hot Chicken is basically the company that we create a lot of art for. Basically, every mural or like design you see in their restaurants when you walk in is all due to us being in there and, you know, creating the vibe and working with the guys to kind of achieve the vision that they have. It's very, very cool that we get to walk into a space, feel it out, feel the vibes, and literally just like, all right, dude, this is going here, this is going there. We're gonna hang this Lambo from there and put that chicken in that spacesuit, and we're gonna crack this wall up and do this. So it's cool that they trust us with, you know, their brand and allow us to create the vision that we do, you know, using their story.
Right.
Basically, Dehmq knew one of the homies from Dave's Hot Chicken just through attending one of his comedy shows.
Yeah, stand-up comedy.
Yeah. He basically had told me that, like, you know, I have these guys, bro. They're and I'd heard about Dave's Hot Chicken, but I hadn't really had it yet. So when he told me about like Dave's Hot Chicken and like you know, oh, like one of the homies owns it and they want us to paint like this wall in their parking lot.
Right.
I was like, I'm down, bro. Let's go, you know, paint the wall in the parking lot. Like at that point, we were kind of just like, you know, willing to do anything, and still we're willing to like, dude, give us a wall and we'll hit it up, you know. But I was like, you know, we're super down. So we met the guys. They're super nice. We had the hot chicken for the first time. We're mind blown. And then, sure enough, like a year later, because they told us then that, like, you know, when we get a spot, we definitely want you guys to, you know, paint it, because we can't do this wall here because it's some other artist or something like that. But anyway, when they moved into a spot like a year later, dude, they hit us up and they're like, you know, they hit up Dehmq and they're like, bro, we got the spot. If you guys are still down, Sure enough, we were down. We went in there, we smashed it, and, you know, the rest is history, bro. We've been pretty much hitting up every store since they've been opening, and it's been a great opportunity to express our art and, you know, again, through their brand, and, you know, just create a vibe for people that are coming there to enjoy their great food and great vibes.
Where do you see the future of Splatterhaus? You know, what do you have any goals that you guys are trying to hit in the next 5 years?
Yes, definitely. Splatterhaus, I mean, like, I have so many different, like, angles that it's going in that I'm,
because the doors are going to open eventually. You know, eventually the doors are going to open. LA will reopen at some point.
Yeah.
So when that happens, what is the plan?
So when that happens, basically the front of the space right now, which is being used as a gallery mainly, which we're going to be having our first installation, by the way, in February, called Heavy Hearts. That's going to be my first installation in there. So right now it's being used as a gallery, and that's what it's going to be mainly until we are able to open. But once we're open, we're going to turn that space back into what it was, which is a full-scale, you know, salon with daily rentals. And after we get that operating, you know, fully, we're going to be, you know, working on expansion and, you know, getting more spaces like that.
Nice.
Similar to that one, whether it'll be fully focused on just hair and art, or if it'll be just like this space where it has like the hair and art in the front, and then it has like the studio in the back. So Expansion mainly. That's like I can't tell you like exactly what direction it's going in because it's going in many directions, but I can tell you that they're all going together and they're all going to end up in the same space. So
hell yeah. And just to ask, because your space is super dope, and for people to, I want people to know this answer. Are you open to having your space rented out? Because it is so artistic. There's such great artwork around it. LA is a hub for people that want spaces for photography and video. So for people that are watching you and they're going to learn more about you when they visit your Instagram after this, I'm sure, and website and stuff, and they see how dope it is inside. Are you open to that? I mean, because that's another stream of revenue that you could be racking in. So is Splatterhaus open for rent for like a peer space vibe?
Yeah, so we actually did have a peer space profile before for our prior spaces. However, we ended up not really like working with peer space too much because it was just too much of a like weird process. I don't know, for some reason it didn't really work out as smoothly as I had anticipated. But it is definitely up for rental per case.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like it would just have to make sense for me, and it would have to make sense for the party. But I'm open to people wanting to rent it. So if there's people that are out there that really love the space and they would want to shoot a music video in there, or host the art gallery, like whatever they want to do, it's a pretty open format space. They can do, just has to make sense for both of us, and I'm more than open to discussing. So
that's awesome.
You guys can hit me up anytime. And
you heard it first from Art. He's giving you the green light. If he likes it, he'll accept. Okay, cool. So before we get into our speed round, I want to ask a question for both of you, and to know your answers. So how do you manage time?
Yeah, it definitely does get difficult because like I wear a lot of hats, and while I'm home, or while I'm, at family's house or whatever, I still always end up sprinkling a little bit of work into my, my day during that time as well, just naturally because my work is kind of like 24/7. It's not just like a one, set time where I can do that. Like sometimes I have to post something on Instagram, or sometimes I have to get back to clients. Some clients refuse to use the online system to book their appointments, or I have to get back to an email from Dave's, or I have to get back to something. So there's a lot going on, which like I don't show too much because like I'm not making a huge thing of it. Like, oh, I'm doing this. I'm just like doing my thing, dude. You know what I mean? So I don't make a big deal about it. So people around me don't really know, but there's a lot going on in here. So managing time definitely does get difficult, but at the end of the day, bro, I've just put one of those like Instagram limiters on my phone where it limits me to like 1 hour a day.
Wow.
Also, I've put a limiter for like a couple.
So wait, if you go over an hour on Instagram, it kicks you off?
Yeah, I mean, dude, there's ways to bypass it, but like it's just a good way to like register in your head.
I just learned that. I didn't know that.
It's like Instagram is like we've replaced our downtime with Instagram, or like being on texts. So
100%.
When you're not aware of that, you realize you're on this freaking app for like a couple of hours a day, and you're like, dude, a couple of hours a day going to like this shit. What the hell am I doing? You know what I mean? Just mindlessly scrolling. But managing time, bro, it's basically just simply like this, bro. Put whatever limiters that you have to put on just to keep yourself aware. I'm not saying so that you can restrict yourself. Like, don't look at it like that. You have to look at it kind of like, I need to find a way to like know when I've been on this too much. And guess what? There's a tool that's created on the iPhone that you can use for that. So I use it, and it tells me when I've used the amount that I prefer, and I move on about my day. And when I'm home, like I try to stay off my phone and just spend time, like even if it's just chilling, watching a movie. Whatever it is. So
you definitely allocate that family time. That you're saying when you're managing time, it's important to make sure there is that window to de-stress and
of course
with your family and all that.
Absolutely, bro.
D, what advice would you give to someone that wants to become an entrepreneur?
Hours don't count anymore. Days don't count. Months don't count. Years don't count. It's just you need to, first of all, know your limits, and also just have that. Not only the passion, the motivation, the inspiration, but it's you're not willing to stop. And because it's gonna get tough, it's gonna get sideways, it's gonna get upside down, up, down, left, right. You're gonna get tested physically and mentally. Knowing why you started is one of the biggest drivers of like, okay, like if as messy as it gets, you know exactly why you started, and you're gonna keep pushing through.
Yeah. What would you say to somebody that feels like every day is a failure, that becoming an entrepreneur is just it's not feasible because I'm too nervous, I'm too scared, there's too many questions, too many doubts, what would you say to the doubts, that come into your mind when you're thinking about taking the leap of faith and becoming a business owner?
I mean, the doubt is the enemy, man. So honestly, like, just 3 words, bro. Just do it. Like how Nike said it. It's absolutely key. Literally, dude. Like, stop questioning everything. Stop complicating it. Stop feeling like you have to have an answer for every aspect of this question. It really just comes down to the bottom of the barrel. Just do it. Like, you don't need any type of anything. Just take the first step that you think is the first step to achieving what you want. And if it's not the first step and you fall because you missed that step, you'll try again and you'll find the first step maybe after 2 or 3 tries or 4 tries, whatever it is. Maybe you might give up, but at least just try, do it. You know what I mean? There's so many barriers that people create because of the labels that are attached to being able to do something. If I'm not an artist, I can't pick up a spray paint bottle and spray on the wall. Well, dude, guess what? I wasn't a spray paint artist either. Like, I didn't just wake up one day and like, had the skills to be able to do whatever I want.
Right.
You know what I mean? It came through being inspired through people that I knew, per se, Dehmq, like, and then wanting to learn from them, right? And I learned from him. He learned certain things from me. We helped. Iron sharpens iron. That saying. That's absolutely 100% correct, because I have my strengths. He has his strengths. My brother has his strengths. We all have our own strengths, and bringing our strengths to the table and sharing that game and being transparent about it is what's allowed us to grow, because there is no, oh, well, I learned this and I know this, so I'm gonna keep this game to me, and you do your way and I'm gonna do what. Dude, it's like, what are we doing this for? We're doing it so that we can thrive together, not so we can thrive alone. You know what I mean? So if I have game that I feel like you can use and it can come useful to you in your life, I'm gonna share that with you, and whether you want to take it or not, that's all on you. But I'm gonna share that with you, and I expect you to do the same. You know what I mean? For sure. And that same thing comes with dealing with problems the same way. When I have a problem with you, there's never don't talk to me, I'm mad at you, or this, that. Like, look, bro, me and you are brothers. I'm telling you straight up in your face what the hell the problem is. And we're getting past it now, and then we're moving on forward. Right. Like nothing ever happened, because nothing ever happened. Yeah. You know what I mean? We disagree. Yeah. You have 8 hours of work after work. If you work till 5 o'clock, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, bro, you have 7 solid hours until midnight. You have the time. It's not like you don't have the time. Everybody has the time after work. If you're working again like 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., you have at least like 3, 4, 5 hours that you can sacrifice from your spare time, where you get to chill, where you get to enjoy life or whatever, and you can just allocate that time to learning a trade, or studying something for a few months before you do that, or dabbling in art.
It honestly takes like 15 minutes. I started my career spending 15 minutes a day at my work.
There you go, dude.
15 minutes, bro. Yeah. That's all it took. It was just goofing off on a sketch pad. So it doesn't need to be 3 hours of you just sitting there.
Oh shit. God damn. Hold on, bro. I totally agree. Yeah. Just basically do it. Go for it. Don't hold anything back. Take the leap of faith. It'll be worth it. If you know you have something that the world needs, then release it. Yeah. That's my philosophy. Yeah. Release it and believe in it, and people will come, and you will be successful. Put yourself out there. Do something that scares you, and you'll find return.
Absolutely. Yeah. Couldn't have said it better.
Well, thank you guys so much for sharing your stories and just being so inspiring for people today, and just learning about your journey has been really great. So now we're going to get into something that's a little bit more fun. It's our speed round, our Sunny speed round Q&A that we're going to ask you for our audience to get to know you guys a little bit better on a more intimate level. Speed round, let's get into it. Question number 1. Who wins one-on-one, Kobe or LeBron?
Kobe, 100%.
Kobe.
Both of them without hesitation, Kobe Bryant, and I couldn't agree more. Which villain survives this Royal Rumble? Agent Smith, Bane, Thanos, the Joker, Heath Ledger of course, or Alonzo from Training Day?
Joker, easily.
Thanos.
Ooh, we got Joker from Art and D saying Thanos. He's going to win that Royal Rumble. Okay, let's move on. You can only play for one team for life. What's it going to be? Art, Yankees, Rockets, LA Kings, or Raiders?
Kings.
LA Kings. D, you're saying you both are hockey players. Okay, cool.
Never been on ice, but I'm down.
And lastly, our last question is, who's winning the Super Bowl this year? Who is winning Super Bowl Bowl 55. Green Bay, Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Manchester United.
Different sport, bro.
Because I have no idea any of the teams are.
Honestly, the sickest logo is the lion one. Is that a lion?
No, it's a...
Lion, that's Buffalo. But oh, so you both don't know anything about the NFL. See, now our audience knows you have no idea what the hell's going on. Okay, so out of the lion, which is actually a Buffalo Bill, okay, you think the Buffalo Bill's gonna win it all?
Bills.
And for you,
that G looks good to me.
the G, you think the G for the Green Bay Packers, which the quarterback is for the Green Bay Packers is
Mr. Packer.
Aaron Rodgers. It's okay. And the quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is
Oh man.
Tom Brady. Okay, Tom Brady. Okay, and we see him on many commercials. He is the future of football. The quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs
I know.
is.
What's his name, bro? Hold on. I know
This
his
is
name.
great.
Hold
They
on.
don't know football, so I can have a lot of fun.
Patrick.
Swayze.
No, Patrick.
It rhymes with Shlomoms.
Yeah, Mahomie.
So that goes our Sunny speed round. These boys don't know anything about the NFL, which is totally fine. Okay, great. So before we leave, something very important. Tomorrow will be 1 year since Kobe and Gigi's death. We collaborated and produced a very special piece to honor both of them. So without further ado, let's roll that clip. And so now you guys know why I wore my 1996 Kobe Bryant, the year he was drafted. And I wore that because, you know, I admire and respect Kobe so much. He's been an inspiration in my life. And I'm so glad we were able to do that cool piece. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So fresh off of that, is there anything further you want to go to the audience to say what Splatterhouse is going to do for January 26th?
Yes, so on January 26th, we're actually going to be hosting our first Baco Booze Days, which is a concept we're launching next Tuesday. It's a street food concept. We would love for you guys to come and enjoy it. It's going to be cooked underneath the Kobe mural, so you'll be able to come through, vibe out with us, have some, you know, beers and enjoy some Bacos. You'll find out what those are soon enough. But yeah, Bacos will be $2.24 in honor of Kobe and Gigi. So if you guys are able to, please come out, vibe with us, have some Bacos, have some booze, and salute to Kobe and Gigi and all the others who passed away on that day.
Cheers right now for Kobe and Gigi at 126. RIP, we love y'all, and for everybody else that died in that helicopter, blessings to your family. Thank you guys for sharing your stories. How can people connect with you guys after this show is over? If they want to know more information, how can people connect?
Just hit us up on our handles, man. Splatterhaus for me. You can also reach me at Eyes Behind Art on Instagram. And
mine is Dehmq, Dehmq.
That about does it tonight for Sunny at Night. Thank you guys for watching. And again, if you're watching and you want to become an entrepreneur, get off your ass and do something about it. Thank you guys again for sharing your story. And if you want to connect with us, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sunny Creative. Follow us on Instagram and follow our podcast, which is on Spotify and iTunes. We'll see you next time.